Welcome to today's lesson, which is about division using the partial quotients method. The goal of today's lesson is that you can use partial quotients to find the quotient of two whole numbers. So you're going to learn how to use the partial quotients method to divide one number by another number. Let's divide 372 by 3 using the partial quotients method. So let's start with the digit 3 here. That represents 300. So if I divide 300 by 3, I could say 100. We'll divide there evenly. So 300 divided by 3 is 100. And so 3 of them is 300. So I'll subtract that. And now I'm left with 72. So next I want to divide 72 by 3, and I could do it step by step. So I'm going to do that here to show you. I could say, well, 3 times 10 is 30. And I'm left with 42. And I could say 3 times 10 is 30 again. And I'm left with 12. And then I could say, okay, 3 times 4 is 12. And when I get to 0, I can't divide anymore. So now my answer would be, if I add up all of these partial quotients, 100 plus 10 is 110, plus 10 is 120, plus 4 is 124. And you can see it in the base 10 diagram on the left hand side here. 372 divided by 3 is 100, 2 tens is 20, and 4 ones is 4, 124. Let's look at another example. 695 divided by 9. So I'm going to say 695 divided by 9. And there are lots of different ways to do these. I'll start off with saying 9 times 50. I can't divide 600 by 9 evenly, so I'm going to say 50, which would be a partial quotient. And 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 50 is 450. So I'll subtract that. And I'm left with 245. And now I want to divide that by 9. I'll say 10. 10 times 9 is 90. So I'm left with 155. I will say 10 times 9 is 90 again, and subtract another 90. And I know that 9 times 7 is 63. And I'm left with 2. So I can't divide 2 by 9 any further, so let me add up the partial quotients. 50 and 1060 and 1070 plus 7 is 77, and there's a remainder of 2. So the answer is 77, remainder 2. Now, what if I make a mistake? Let's do an example here on the right hand side where I make a mistake. 9 divide into 695. And I started off on the left hand side with 9 times 50. What if I do 9 times 80? I'm going to say. So 9 times 80, I want to subtract it. And oh, it's too big. I can't subtract it from 695 and get a positive answer. So I know I've made a mistake. If you have an eraser, you can erase, or you can just cross it out and pick a better number. So I could say then 9 times 70 is 630. And when I subtract that, I get 65. And then 9 times 7 is 63. And I'm left with 2 that I cannot divide by 9 and get a whole number. So I get 77 here. So the answer is 77, remainder 2. But you saw how I recovered from making an error. Just cross it out and keep going. So the partial quotient method helps to decompose a long division calculate into numbers that are easier to work with. So you saw today how to use the partial quotients method to divide one number by another number. And that's the end of today's lesson.